Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be over the last video that I did. So if you didn't get a chance to see that yet, feel free to check that out before it's too late. I do plan to eventually delete that video only because I think I'm going to stick with this format of video going forward. So by doing that, I may delete all the old stuff just so it looks uniform. But yeah, this is going to be a continuation of that video, and I hope that if you did see it, this really helps to go a little bit deeper and that it still resonates with you. And if you didn't see it yet, I hope that this still covers everything that you need, especially if that video does get deleted before you get to see it. I feel like we're going to cover everything and more in this video. So yeah, check it out. If you feel like taking notes, take notes. I actually am really glad it worked out this way where I'm going to film it like this, because it will allow you to screenshot the background of the video. I'll add some highlighted notes on there, as well as the notes I'll leave in the comment section. So this kind of allows me to just tune more into the messages and also give you guys something to screenshot and take home as well. So I hope you guys enjoy this style of video. Please let me know if these messages resonate with you, and I can't wait to hear how it goes. So after I posted that last video, I was getting a bunch of downloads about it still. And so I was like, okay, I've got to do a part 2. And so I just started taking notes of all the downloads I was getting for whenever I did do this video. So this will kind of be broken up into 3 different parts. 1, the downloads I was getting right after the video, and then 2, the card pull, and 3 being some more channeled messages at the end there, just to kind of bring it all together. So some of the messages I was getting after the card pull was that this collective is heavy in Scorpio energy, and you may or may not have a lot of Scorpio placements in your chart. I feel like whether you do or don't, you still need to heavily consider printing out your birth chart so you have like a tangible copy where you can just like really study this, because I feel like whatever placements you do or don't have are very significant and very impactful to your life. And I feel like the more you can work with your Scorpio placements, the more powerful and the more transformative you will make your life. Like, I feel like that is your secret sauce. That is your secret power. And especially if you feel like life hasn't really been going in the direction you want it to go, or going at the pace you want it to go, or whatever it may be. If it's not going how you want it to go, I feel like using your Scorpio powers will help you. And when I say Scorpio powers, I feel like you have like this death person vibe about you. That probably sounds so funny, but basically what that means is you are super connected to the other side. I feel like you just have this connection with death, whether you've seen a lot of death, whether you have been through a lot of like energetic deaths. I feel like it's just an energy that you're very comfortable in, and an energy that you are very used to. And because of that, I think, again, like if you were to hone in on this power, it would really help you in your life. Maybe this whole time it's been feeling like a burden, or like just something you're getting through that's really tough, but like, hey, you're so used to it that you're just doing the motions now. But I feel like if you were to really tune into this, you can really transform your life for the better. And I feel like whatever that destiny is, whatever that end goal or dream life is that you always feel or envision, I feel like you will get there if you harness your Scorpio energy. So let me know how that resonates. Let me know what kind of Scorpio placements you have. it would be cool to maybe even try to figure some of this out together. So if you do have a lot of Scorpio placements, please leave a comment, and maybe some other Scorpio placements can help kind of deep dive into what that means or how you can work with it, or please share how maybe you work with it, or how you would like to, right? So, all right, that was kind of the first download. The second one was that and this came up in the reading because this was one of the main cards, and we'll go over this in a second, but you may feel kind of stuck or conflicted right now. Maybe like you're going back and forth between something a lot. And I feel like you are getting kind of like frustrated or maybe even aggravated because of this. And maybe you don't realize it's because of this, but I think it's because you've been in this stuck energy or this weird energy for a while now that you're just like, WTF, you know? And yeah, so what I was getting with that is try not to look at it as being stuck. I feel like you're actually at a crossroads, and I feel like being in this crossroads energy is actually a huge blessing. So take with that what you will, but I feel like when you're at a crossroads, and specifically this is the download that I got for you, but you're meant to tune into your spiritual abilities, your intuition, your spiritual practices, your spirit guides. Connect to spirit however you can, because I feel like spirit is trying to help guide you. Spirit is trying to show you the way, and you may be stuck in this lower vibration. And I feel like it's what's kind of keeping you stuck in this energy where you feel stuck. And I feel like by getting out of that 3D vibration, and maybe even sometimes it feels like you're forcing yourself to do this, but putting yourself in this 5D vibration instead is going to really help you shake this stuck energy off. I feel like you're trying to operate in an old way that you're not meant to operate from anymore. So take with that what you will. But yeah, it feels like, for example, if you're trying to hustle and grind and make certain things happen, but it's just not quite working, maybe you're not meant to hustle and grind for that to happen. I feel like you need to actually connect with your feminine energy more. You need to connect more with your divine feminine. Allow the divine feminine guidance within you to lead the way. Because I feel like it's been trying to, but it's very quiet and very subtle, especially compared to like the masculine or the anxiety thoughts that you could be having around life and around what you need to do. First of all, I feel like there's no rush to what you need to do. So you need to slow down and get that out of your brain. Like, there is no rush. And I feel like with you specifically, less is more. So try not to pile all kinds of stuff onto your plate. I feel like the less you can do, the better. And that also lets the universe know that you're trusting it. And I think that will also bring you the abundance you're looking for. So going back to that last reading, the Star card stuck out a lot, and so did the Two of Swords. Those were some of the main cards there, and those exact cards came back around in the card pool. So if you are having some trouble going forward after this reading and you're like, need some more guidance, try to remember those two cards. Try to go back and research those two cards, because I feel like that's totally you right now, and you need to kind of like deep dive in that energy to fully understand it and embrace it in order to kind of move past it. So yeah, let me now segue into the card pull, because I feel like this is a good place to do that. Give me 1 second. Let me switch over the notes. Okay, so with this Two of Swords energy and the Star energy, and going back to operating from this divine feminine energy, I feel like another thing to keep in mind is like the yin yang. I feel like that's this Two of Swords energy. There's two sides, two aspects, two timelines. You're at a crossroads. You need to kind of surrender that masculine energy and listen to that feminine guidance more. I feel like that's where your creative abundance lies, is within your feminine, creative, sacral energy. And so, with you specifically, I think that's where you're going to see more movement, and that's where your true purpose and destiny lie. So, I feel like that's why you're going to get more movement when you operate in that way. So, I hope this is making sense, because I feel like for the longest time, the old timeline was more in the masculine sense. And yes, that got you to where you are now, but you've always known that you have a higher calling and a higher purpose, and maybe you didn't really know what that was or how to get there, or maybe it looked like one thing but changed over time, and now you're not really sure. I think that is the key forward. I think that is the torch at the crossroads, like I think that's what your spirit guides are trying to tell you, is that you just need to slow down, take a deep breath, and allow that inner guidance to actually guide you and lead you. Stop operating from this old timeline of fear, of judgment, of recklessness, of, I don't know, maybe recklessness is extreme, but you know what I mean, where you're just constantly in survival mode and constantly worrying about money and about relationships and about everything in your life. Like, the universe wants you to just take a deep breath. And I think that you've had this within you this whole time, and I think that now is the divine timing to now switch into this new timeline. Okay, I think you've seen this new timeline for a long time, and that could also be why you felt stuck, because you're like, well, I've been feeling it for so long, how come I'm not there, how come I can't get in it? And I think that you've been shielded and protected for a long time, because it's in divine timing. I think that you needed to go through certain lessons, you had to get certain upgrades, like you literally just had to wait for the divine timing. And you've learned so much since the initial shifts happened, right? So congratulations, I'm so proud of you. But know that this is a huge rebirth for you. This timeline shift is so huge. That's why the death card came out in that last reading. Because like I said, you are a death person. You are someone that transforms and rises up, and you are the phoenix from the ashes, right? Like, you are the lotus from the dirt. So here you are again in this pivotal moment in your life where you are coming up out of the dirt. And yeah, I think that you really owe it to yourself to fully embrace that. So that's one of the main things, is to slow down and start really trusting the universe, trusting that what you're feeling is real, that you have this higher destiny, this higher purpose, and you are a powerful creator, so you have the ability to bring it in for yourself. Okay, so going back to the card pull, because it was really interesting. Going back to the Two of Swords and the whole yin yang thing, I feel like there's two sides to this story, and I feel like they ebb and flow with each other. So I'll kind of go more into this. But basically what I have is that the first aspect, so like I said, there's two aspects. The first aspect is about love. The second aspect is about career, money, destiny, which we kind of went into, but we'll go a little bit more into. But this whole love thing really, really stuck out. And I feel like this is a big one. Even if you aren't worried about love per se right now, I feel like everyone listening to this is getting some kind of relationship or like love renewal. Because I feel like your love life is supposed to be very harmonious for you in order for you to fulfill your destiny with career and finances and all that. Like, you're not supposed to be worried about love, because that would be too much of a distraction for you for your destiny. So I feel like that's why the universe is like, okay, maybe that's also part of why this hasn't fully happened yet for you, because whether you're with someone or not, I feel like this had to get right first in whichever way that applies to you. So with that being said, everyone's getting a relationship renewal, whether you're in a relationship, not in one, or in a weird situationship. I feel like the cards that were sticking out in this reading were really emphasizing a relationship that has been struggling, where the two people could be at odds. Like maybe you're kind of separated, maybe there's a distance, or maybe there's just some kind of like you're at odds with them right now, okay? And like I said, this was the main storyline that was coming out in the cards, but like I said, I feel like this applies whether you're going through this or not. Everyone's getting this renewal, right? So what I was seeing in the cards was that if you are at a distance with your person, I do see that they are going to come back, but I don't think it's going to be until January. Now, it may be before, it may be after, it could be at a completely random time that isn't even close to what I'm saying. But what I felt when I was pulling the cards was January. And I feel like it's going to be during Capricorn season. I feel like they're going to come in with clarity, with truth, with loyalty, with communication. I feel like they really want to talk to you and they really want a renewal. They want to apologize. They want to redeem themselves. I feel like you both had to go through certain lessons apart. Okay? So take that how it resonates. If the person that you're thinking of is someone you clearly, absolutely don't want to be with, then don't take this message, okay? But if you're really curious about your person that you're at odds with, this is for you, okay? So just take this if it resonates. Don't force a message. But like I said, I feel like you guys had to have that time away from each other because there were certain lessons. And I also feel like with this timeline crossroads energy, I feel like I feel like whenever this timeline shift first happened for you, you jumped timelines so quickly that this separation had to happen so your person could acclimate and adjust to the high vibrational shift that you shifted to. I hope that makes sense. I feel like you shifted very quickly into a higher dimension and it caused turbulence in the reality with your partner to where you had to go through a few more months of some weird energy because they had to catch up. And also you still had to complete a few lessons as well. So I hope that resonates. That's a huge download that I got, was that the timelines had to adjust. It was like turbulence, okay? So they're still adjusting, and I feel like going into next year, it's going to be more aligned and more adjusted. Like I said, I think your person is going to make a comeback in January, and they are going to want to apologize and redeem themselves, and it does feel like a good energy going forward. Okay, so in the meantime of that for you, I feel like you will have a bit of competition. It was really interesting. The main energy I was getting as far as competition went was you having competition with yourself. I don't think there's actually any other competition. Whether you've seen competition or not in your situation, I kind of feel like the only real competition that exists is within yourself. There could be some toxic patterns or old programs or old toxic beliefs. I don't know. There's something that is still needing to be leveled up on your end as far as like that goes, as far as like getting triggered a lot, as far as like the jealousy. Maybe there were a few cards of like spying and jealousy and being triggered, and I feel like and the third party card came out. But I feel like for a lot of you there probably isn't even a real third party situation. I feel like it's all like negative thoughts that you could be projecting, and I feel like you need to really check your thoughts and your patterns and your behaviors and your toxicity, if that makes sense. I feel like when your person comes back, they're going to have done the work, and you don't want to have missed out on the time that you were supposed to be doing your work. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like from now until January, or from now until you reunite with your person, if that is something you want, you really need to do the inner work. And I feel like even if you aren't trying to be with someone, or not that you're not trying to be with someone, but if you're not trying to be with the person on your mind that could resonate for, then you should still do the inner work anyways. I feel like this is a huge message of like, don't waste this time. You don't waste this time being distracted by temptations, or third party energies, right? Like, you need to be so focused right now, because it's a very magical and transformative time for you, especially during Scorpio season. So Scorpio season, November, is huge for you. So please don't let that opportunity pass you by. Just give yourself, sit with that and see what you think of that message. But if it resonates, please just, take into consideration what those things may be. Why are you getting triggered? What are your toxic patterns? Maybe find some shadow work prompts. Maybe you can journal this out, or find some cool therapies that you resonate with to help you get some of this out. I don't know. Do what you feel intuitively called to do as far as that goes. But that is something that came up in tandem with all of this, okay? So let's see if I'm missing anything before I kind of wrap this up. Yeah, it's like, don't let your pride get in the way. You may have to compromise in some type of way. And some of the cards that came out too was like, take action, send a message. So I don't know, if you feel called to reach out to this person, I think that it will be okay, especially if you've really been feeling called to do that. Again, if that doesn't resonate, don't take it. Some of you may have already anticipated sending a message. So if you have, maybe this is your confirmation. But I feel like, the overall message, let me just reread this so I don't miss anything. Hold on. Yeah, it's like, wrapping it up, it's kind of like just bringing that balance back into your life, and focus on like connecting with your emotions and healing your emotions, because with all of these super moons and with all of the Scorpio energy, and there's a lot of high emotions right now for everyone, but especially I think for you, because you are so connected to this energy, your energy could be really high right now. So it's really important to really focus on your emotions, your energy. Make sure you're connecting with your spiritual practices, okay? Work out, run, get it out of your body, move it out of your body in some kind of way. And then, the overall message, and I think this might be wrapping it up, but the overall message is to relax. Change is on the way. I feel like by next year, going into next year, just like in the last reading, it was saying there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's coming soon. So hang in there. I know it's been a crazy journey, but it's definitely been worth it, and you're going to see the rewards very soon. So give yourself that time to really lean into the work that you need to do so you can get the absolute most out of this. All right, so I hope that helps. I hope that resonates. I have one more page, but I think I went over a lot of this already. So the main thing with this whole 2 aspects thing is the other aspect being career, finance, destiny, and we went over a lot of that already, but I will say that the main thing I want to leave you with is that these 2 aspects are ebb and flowing with each other. And so until this one first aspect with love and romance is complete, at least to a certain extent, where you can feel free and happy and flowy within it, then it really goes it really ebbs and flows with the second aspect. So until that really aligns for you, it's going to be kind of hard to get this other thing going, because it's always going to seem like there's delays or there's setbacks or there's something always coming up with career or whatever, trying to get your money right, trying to get your destiny right. And I feel like once this first aspect comes to a completion, and of course we're always growing, we're always changing, but until it gets to a good point, I think that that's going to keep happening. So kind of just like, again, go slow when it comes to the money, when it comes to the purpose and the destiny work. I feel like that is coming, okay? I think this needs to wrap up first, and then that will flow even more for you. I think you're starting to adjust to the new timeline with love. You may not be aware of it with love, but maybe more so with career. You could see that you're inching closer and inching closer. And I think that it's going to really, like, the floodgates are going to open for you very soon. Just hang in there. Don't rush the process. You need to lean into your journaling and your spiritual practices so you can get the downloads and the messages you need for your career and also for the relationship stuff. But I feel like mainly so focusing on career, all this relationship stuff is going to work out on its own. So anyways, I hope that makes sense. Take that all how it resonates. But it definitely all ebbs and flows together. So the main thing with both of these aspects in your life is to just relax and trust the universe, but still do the work, okay? Okay, so that was everything from the card reading. I will end this with a few more channeled messages, and then I will let you guys go. So again, I really hope this resonates, and I hope you guys are enjoying this. I really enjoyed doing the reading in this style. I feel like it's really helping to just be very clear on the messages, and I enjoyed writing all these notes and everything too. So please let me know how it all resonates. But all right, so last thing before I let you guys go, the last few channeled messages. Okay, so I already told you guys this one. Okay, so it's time to activate your hearts, activate your heart chakras, make room in your hearts and in your homes. So if you feel like you need to do an energy cleanse within you and in your home, doing an energy cleanse and maybe even just cleaning up, I feel like now is a really good time to do that. Now until the end of the year, focus on your heart chakra. You need to really heal what's in your heart and clean up your home. I feel like you need to make room. Okay, I also got this phrasing that it's going to happen in a flash of light. All of this change, all of this sudden miraculous energy is going to come through in a flash of light. So believe in miracles. Believe that your spirit guides are helping you. Believe that your heart is shining and healing and flowing and, you know, in connection with the universe and your dreams and your desires, okay? Okay, the last one that I wrote was start fine-tuning your purpose. Start really fine-tuning what your future life looks like. And that doesn't have to just be with your purpose. That could also be with your relationships as well. Whatever side of this scale is like more relevant to you right now, I would say think about both. Think about your future as a whole with career and with love. Like, just visualize the most abundant future possible. Now is the time to manifest. Now is the time to dream. I would encourage you to make a new Pinterest board or a physical vision board, like whatever you want to do or feel called to do to manifest from now until January is the most potent, magical time. So, all right, I will leave you guys with that. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in. I love you guys so much. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and please share if you feel called to share. Leave a comment. I would love to hear from you guys, and let me know how this resonates. I hope that this helps you, and I cannot wait to see you guys next time. Thank you so much. Bye.